Do you have beautiful, colorful flowers in your garden that you'd love to find a way to preserve? Well, have you ever heard of hammer flower art? Today we're going to learn about it from Clarissa Cherez, residential horticulture agent with the UF IFAS Extension in Orange County. Clarissa, thanks for being here.
Thanks for inviting me.
Okay, I'm excited about this. I've never heard of this, but what a fun way to preserve the beauty of your flowers.
Yeah, this is a really fun technique that you're able to just use flowers from your garden and it's maybe some supplies you have in the shed to create some pretty artwork with.
Okay, so it's called hammer flower art. What does that mean?
You were literally using a hammer. It's also been called like pound flower art. So you're literally using a hammer or a rubber mallet and you are hammering the pigment out of the flower, and so it's going to transfer to your surface, whether that is watercolor paper or like a tote bag, apron, whatever it might be. You are transferring the color and like even the shape of the flower to your surface.
So neat. So what supplies do we need to get started?
So you're going to need your surface area, so whether that's watercolor paper, as I mentioned, a tote bag, or even an apron. If you're using a fabric surface, you're going to want to make sure that it is like 100% cotton, or just, you don't want a synthetic blend. Wash it first, iron it, and then you are ready to go. We use watercolor paper instead of like printer paper or construction paper, just because it's able to handle the moisture to it. Beyond your surface, you are going to need a hammer or rubber mallet, and then some fresh stuff from your garden, and that's relatively it.
All right, so we're going to do a little demonstration here, but just so people know what we're talking about, this is an example of a finished product. It's beautiful. I mean, basically we get the impression, the gorgeous colors of all of our flowers preserved. So tell us how we do this.
Yep, you're going to harvest some fresh flowers. These were harvested a few hours ago, so you do want a little bit fresher than that so they don't begin to wilt. But all you're going to do is you're going to take whichever flower you want. I am going to cut it straight to the end of the flower there. Flip it over. Actually, that worked right. Perfect right there. So I'm just going to come through and start prepping the flowers that I'm going to use.
Okay, that's a little blue daze that we have
Yes,
right there?
yes.
Okay.
And so then you're going to flip them over. That's what you're going to, so let's put maybe a clump of 3 right here.
Okay. So pretty. Such gorgeous colors. And this is the time of year, right? To see all these.
It is. Everything's in bloom right now. And I'm going to take a few more flowers here and then we'll.
And is that impatiens?
Yes, this one is an impatiens. The fun thing about using impatiens is that even since impatiens come in different colors, when you pound them, they all have different shades depending on what color. So even these pink ones here turned into like this, some of these bluer pigments.
Really?
Yeah, so
That's
here we are.
Okay.
We have our flowers. I'm going to take a paper towel. You want a paper towel that doesn't have any texture to it. So think of those that have like the fun prints to it. If you use a paper towel with impressions on it, it might actually transfer the impression. So you just want plain paper towel.
Just a plain paper towel. You know what? I'm going to do one of these too. Can I borrow the clippers?
Please
Because
do.
I've got,
We'll do 2.
I want a chance to make this beautiful art.
Underneath our watercolor paper is cardboard. I am doing that to lighten the surface so we don't dent our table.
Okay.
So just something to think about. Also helps with the sound barrier.
Okay.
So I have my my flowers underneath.
Paper towel.
Have my flowers underneath my hammer here, or underneath the paper towel, and I'm literally just going to start.
All right, here we go. Woo! This is good to get tension out. Okay. All right. Is that it?
You can see that some of the color started to bleed through, which
Yeah.
is perfect. I'm going to go ahead and take it off. The harder you pound, the more pigment you'll get, but you can start to see that some of the pigment did transfer, and you're literally just going to peel them back.
Oh,
So I
beautiful.
didn't get all the edges, but that's okay. You can see how that turned purple.
Yes.
And these little blue daisies kept their shape, which is pretty cool, and even the center portions of it.
So you just kind of peel off some of the residue left from the flowers.
You can wait for it to dry, or you can peel them immediately, but you can see how that's starting to transfer some of the color.
That is so beautiful. And then in this finished example, you laminated it, so it could be artwork. I would think you could make this into bookmarks. Or
Yep, you could do anything like that. You could frame it even. A lot of fun, creative ideas that you can use with it.
So much fun. Now, any tips on what type of blooms or leaves or plants we should use?
You're gonna want flowers or foliage that is thinner and that is vibrant in color. If it has like a waxy kind of texture to it, it's not gonna transfer the color as well.
Okay.
So you can see the impatiens did really well. Violas, pansies, ferns even are all great ways to use different foliage from your yard.
So fun. And Clarissa, you actually offer classes on this at the Extension?
Once a month we offer various gARTening, so garden and art classes. This was one of them, so you just check out our Eventbrite page, ocextension.eventbrite.com, and we have monthly gARTening classes for you to take.
I love that, gARTening. I'm going gARTening today. That's so much fun. Clarissa, you are always so much fun to have on. Thank you for showing us this great activity. I'm thinking this would be fun for kids out of school for the summer.
A great summer activity.
Yeah, all right. Well, it's a delight having you here.
Thanks for having me.
Well, hopefully you can try doing this at home. All you need is to go clip some of these pretty flowers from your garden, and then you can preserve their memory for months, even years to come. So here's to having some fun with gARTening.